Hey, it's Patrick from JMP Cycles, and today we're going to show you how to install Vance and Hines Rogue intake on our Milwaukee 8 Softail. Specifically, this is a 2020 Lowrider S, but for all Milwaukee 8 Softails, this is going to be the same install. So your disassembly of your stock air cleaner may be a little bit different than this one. This one has the 114 in it, so it has the football shaped instead of the other style cover, but the install is going to be exactly the same. We're going to start by taking off our 1/8 inch Allen head screws here to get our cover off, and then we'll pull our backing plate off and start the assembly. The next two screws are 5/32 Allens. Go ahead and pull them out. Pull these vent hoses off, and you're going to need a deep well 7/16 to get in here and take the breather bolts out. But first, we're going to pull these 3 Allen heads out. These are also 5/32, and then we'll pull the breather bolts off, and the whole assembly will come off. Okay, they're longer than I thought. So this is everything we're going to need to take off of here. This is a pretty new bike, so everything's really clean. But if you have any dirt or grease or anything on there, you might be getting some blow-by. Take a chance now to clean all your surfaces up before we start putting the Rogue back on this bike. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in our breather bolts back into our head here. We're going to put a little bit of blue Loctite on each one, and we're going to torque these anywhere from 120 to 140 inch-pounds, not foot-pounds, inch-pounds. We'll do this with a 7/16 deep well. So now we're gonna get our breather hoses set up. If you notice, the hoses are 2 different sizes. This one here is a little bit longer. It's gonna go towards the back of the engine. So we have this billet plate here. It's got a little bite taken out of it. So that's gonna orientate to the back of the engine also. So I'm gonna take my longer breather hose and the long end of the longer breather hose, and we're just gonna jam it down in this top hole, the one that's closest to the back of the engine. You can see it'll kind of, once it's flush with the inside of this, that's all you need. Once we have those in there, you have your 2 little short pieces facing back towards the engine, and now we can make what I like to call my backing plate sandwich. The gasket's gonna go to the inside, and it's gonna have a little cutout right there to go around this cast piece. Line your cutouts up on this billet spacer with the hoses in it. The next part of the sandwich is going to be the backing plate. The backing plate, the smooth side goes out. Your blocks, your threaded blocks go to the inside. These 2 holes go towards the back, and the wider set holes go towards the front. All of your 3 bolt holes should line up. The last thing we have is this Billet Venturi. Line up your 3 holes. Put your little cutout. This cutout isn't for this bike, but just put that cutout towards the top. Put some blue Loctite on your 3/16 Allens and work them through all of the holes. It'll help you hold everything together. Make sure you put some blue Loctite on there. Once you have your blue Loctite on there, everything's sandwiched together. We're gonna go to the bike and just start them by hand. Definitely don't tighten one down before you get the other started. You'll have some problems. We're gonna run these all the way down, and when they get to when you bottom them out, hold off, You have to torque them anywhere from 55 to 60 inch-pounds. That's inch-pounds, not foot-pounds. We'll get these torqued and get our vent hoses hooked up. We have our outer cover and our air filter. It just slips over like that. But then before we take this really nice 12-point hardware and slip it through there, we have these standoffs. And if you look, one side is bigger than the other side. The sides that are narrowest go in towards, or out towards the cover, and the thicker side goes in towards the bike, like that. Thin side up. Just get one started. Make another one. Line it up. Slip the hardware through it. Same with the last two. This is 5/16 12-point hardware. They don't give us a torque spec on these, so just snug them up real good. Don't use a huge ratchet. If you're using a 1/4 inch ratchet, you should be fine snugging them up. And then we're gonna put on our vent hoses. I like to go in a crisscross pattern just to keep things moving down together nice and flat. So if you start torquing around in a circle, you might twist it. The vent hoses we've already installed. We're just gonna slip over the breather bolts, all pressed on there good and tight. So a couple of things. This is our project bike. There is no gas tank on it. You can do this. This will go on just exactly the same with the gas tank. And the other thing is, this is definitely gonna increase your airflow into the bike, i.e. helping increase horsepower. You also have a washable, reusable filter here. Never have to replace this. Just get a recharge kit, wash it with warm soapy water, re-oil it, and you're good to go. Another question we always get asked is, do I need to change my tune? My answer always is yes. Even a stock bike is going to benefit from a fuel injection controller. And when you increase your airflow, you need to increase that fuel to match the newfound airflow. The best way to do that with this particular setup is an FP3. I'll put a link in the description to FP3s. We have a lot of information on those. An FP3 is the best way to get the perfect tune for your newfound airflow and horsepower. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop us a comment and go work on those motorcycles.